Om. 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 Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. Sarasvati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada. Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Satgurum Brahma Vidvaram Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Paramananda Madhavam. Paramananda Madhavam. All right, let's read verses 26 and 27. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhaktyupahritam ashnami prayatatmanaha. Yat karoshi yadashnasi yajjuhoshi dadasi yata yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurushva madarpanam. So what we saw last week is the simplicity of worshipping. Bhagwan says, Patram, just a simple leaf. Pushpam, a simple flower. Phalam, a fruit. Toyam, even water. Even if we don't have anything at home, even if it's just water, whatever is offered to me with devotion, bhaktyupahritam, he says, tad ashnami, that I receive, that I actually eat. I eat whatever is offered with bhakti. And this is important because this is how our relationship starts with Bhagwan. When we think of making a relationship with God, it feels like God is so far away in some distant place, in some distant time. But when we see that Bhagwan through a murti, a form, and we start making a relationship with Bhagwan, then it brings Bhagwan very close to us. And although we start this way, we don't end this way. In verse number 27, Bhagavan Shri Krishna says, eventually this is how we have to live our lives. Yat karoshi, whatever we do, let it be an offering to that Lord. Yadashnasi, whatever we eat. Yad juhoshi, whatever prayers, havan, puja, whatever we offer. Tadasi, whatever we give in charity or to others. Yat tapasyasi, whatever austerity we perform. Tat kurushva mad arpanam. Bhagavan says, offer that to me. Offer that to me. Whatever, any little thing that you do, just give it as an offering to me. And actually, we really can't offer anything to Bhagavan because everything is Bhagavan's. So we are offering our mistake that I thought that this is my body, this is my thought, this is my individuality. I thought that and I am offering it to you. I am offering my mistake of thinking that this was mine, this was me, but nothing is mine. So I offer you my mistake. May I constantly be reminded that everything is actually yours. Everything is actually yours alone. And when we live life with this bhava, with this feeling, emotion, that everything is really offered to Bhagwan because everything is Bhagwan's, what is the result? That now is seen in the next verse, verse number 28. Shubha Shubha Phalerevam
शुभाशुभफलैरेवम्
Mokshase Karma Bandhanaihi
मोक्ष्यसे कर्मबन्धनैः
Sanyasa-yoga-yuktatma
सन्न्यासयोगयुक्तात्मा
Vimukto mamupaishasi.
विमुक्तो मामुपैष्यसि
Shubha Shubhapalerevam Mokshase Karma Bandhanaihi Sanyasa-yoga-yuktatma Vimukto mamupaishasi. It says that we become sannyasa yoga yukt atma. We become a atma here means a person with this kind of mind, this mind which is endowed with the yoga of sannyasa, this mind which is endowed with renunciation, the yoga of renunciation. We become like that. And we are mokshase, we are freed. Mokshase, we are freed from what? Karma bandhanehi, from the bonds of actions. What are the bonds of actions? Shubha ashubha palehi, from good and evil results of actions. We are free from all of that. And when we become free of that, vimuktaha, we are liberated, mam upaishasi, and we come to Bhagwan alone, mam upaishasi. Thus shalt thou be freed from the bonds of action, yielding good and evil fruits, with a mind steadfast in the yoga of renunciation and liberated, thou shalt come unto me. What does this mean? First, we will take up the term sannyasa yoga yuktatma. That means our mind becomes steadfast in renunciation of two things. The first thing is called selfishness, and the second thing is called insistence. When we start to offer everything to Bhagwan, we begin to realize that really we cannot live life by our likes and dislikes. We cannot live life by our own individual thinking or for our own self. When we start offering to Bhagwan, we start understanding that this, whatever is being done through me, has to be for the benefit of totality. It has to be for the good of all. It cannot just be for me. It cannot just be for my family. It has to benefit all. And we start renouncing our selfishness. We start renouncing our individuality. So in the action itself, what is our agenda? Our agenda is no more trying to protect our ego, trying to get some personal gain, trying to make ourselves look really good. That's not our agenda. Our agenda is serving, giving, helping others. That's our agenda. So in the first part, where we renounce selfishness, that means now our vision is much, much deeper. And because there's no more need to protect the ego, there's no pressure or tension or stress. Pressure, tension, stress, all this comes when we're trying to protect our ego, when we're trying to make ourselves look good, when we're trying to make sure that we shine out, when we're trying to put ourselves out there. All of that comes, pressure, tension, stress. Whenever we try to protect the ego, whenever we try to make it shine, all of this will come with it. But when we renounce all of that and totally offer everything for the good of all, so much so that we get lost in the action itself, that in the action we completely get lost in it, and it is Bhagwan doing, Bhagwan speaking, Bhagwan walking, Bhagwan talking, Bhagwan reading. It is Bhagwan doing everything. There's such a joy in the action. There's such a joy in the action because we lose ourselves in it. There's fun, there's liveliness, there's creativity, there's beauty. So guess what happens? The second renunciation of insistence is automatic. We don't anymore insist on a particular result because in the very action, we felt so blissful, we felt so joyful that whatever comes, let it come. Because we already became whole and fulfilled in the process of the action itself. We know that a result has to come, but we're not worried about it. We're not tensed about it or stressed about it because we just enjoyed the action so much that whatever has to happen will happen, and let it happen. It's okay. But on the other hand, if we were driven by our selfish desire, selfish motives, we would try and control the results, try and make sure that we get the right result, we get the result that we want to get. And obviously that's not going to happen because we don't always get what we want and we're not in control of it. So we become upset. That's not the way to live. So Bhagavad Gita says, Sannyasa Yoga Yuktatma is the one who is able to renounce their individuality, their selfishness, and because of that, automatically, they're able to renounce insistence of the results of action. Results will come, but they renounce the insistence that it should come this way or that way. Sometimes we think that we can engage in selfish action. And then when the results come, we can say, Shri Krishna, Arpanam Astu. That I offer the results to you. And that's not going to happen. We're not going to be balanced. If we are selfish in the beginning, guaranteed we're going to be disturbed by the results of actions. It's a guarantee. Because anytime we try to protect the ego and protect our selfishness, we will become disturbed. But when we start itself freeing us of that individuality, then there's a peace in the beginning, there's a peace in the middle, and there's definitely peace in the end. And that's how Karma Yoga works. It's peace throughout. It's not just, pressure, 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 and then peace. Or it's not peace and then pressure, 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 pressure. Karma Yoga has to be peace in the beginning itself, in the middle, and in the end. Only then it's Karma Yoga. Otherwise, it is just karma. So, because this person has offered everything to Bhagwan, renounced selfishness and renounced insistence, they are free from the bondage of karma. What is the bondage of karma? Attachment to results, attachment to good and evil results, attachment, trying to hold on, trying to grapple with, trying to insist on certain results. If it's a good result, that person will want more and more of it. If it's a bad result, that person will try to run away from it. And it's constantly living on the edge. What will I get? What will happen? How is it going to be? And then when we get it, we want more. And then if we don't get it, we want to run away from it. We want to try something else. It's a whole cycle of bondage. So one becomes free from all of these thoughts in the mind, unnecessary thoughts. Being free, vimuktaha, one gains the necessary purity of mind, stillness of mind to attain the highest. Mam upaishyasi. So being free of this karma bandhana, one gains that poise to attain the highest. Now, Bhagwan tells us something very, very beautiful. What is the nature of Bhagwan? Is it that Bhagwan loves others and does not love others? Does Bhagwan have any kind of partiality? This is what we will see now in verse number 29. Samoham sarvabhuteshu
Samoham sarvabhuteshu
na me dveshosti na priyaha
na me dveshyosti na priyaha
ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya
ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya
maite teshu chapyaham.
mayi te teshu chapyaham
Samoham sarvabhuteshu na me dveshosti na priyaha ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya maite teshu chapyaham. So this is a very, very beautiful verse. What does he say? He says, Samaha aham, means I am the same to all. Samaha aham sarva bhuteshu. I am same to all beings. Name dveshaha. There's nobody hateful to me. Na me priyaha. And there's nobody dear to me. But ye bhajanti tumam bhaktya. Those who worship me with devotion, maite, they are in me. Teshu cha api aham, and I am in them. The same am I to all beings. To me there is none hateful or dear, but those who worship me with devotion are in me, and I am also in them. So Bhagwan says here, I have no favorites. I have no favorites. I am the same to all beings. And there are several examples given. One example is given by Adi Shankaracharya ji that Bhagwan is like fire. So there's a fire here, let us say, in the middle of the room. There's a fire, right? Means we're lighting a nice bonfire for Holi, let us say. Now, everybody has access. We are all in the room. There's a fire, there's a bonfire in the middle. All have access to the fire, but some will walk towards the fire and some will stay away from the fire. Those who walk towards the fire, they can feel the heat. But those who walk away from the fire, they don't feel the heat. They feel cold. So Bhagwan's grace is the same for all, accessible to all. But there are some who will walk closer to it, So they will feel more grace. But that's not Bhagwan's fault. And there's some who will walk away from it, they'll feel less grace. This is the same thing that Puja Gurudev has written in the commentary. He says here, on a dull piece of rough stone, there will be the least amount of sunlight reflected, while in a bright, clean, and polished mirror, perhaps there will be maximum reflection. Because of this difference, sunlight cannot be accused of having special love for the mirror or disgust for the rough surface. So some minds, another example is sunlight. Sunlight will be very reflective on water, but not on a rock. Some minds are very clear, very pure. So that truth will be more manifest in that being. And some minds are dull, and dirty, means with lots of clouding thoughts, negative thoughts. In that mind, that truth cannot manifest or express. So that is not the fault of the sunlight. It's not the fault of the sunlight. It's the fault of the mental equipment. So when we are walking closer to Bhagwan, yes, we will feel more grace. And when we are walking away from Bhagwan, yes, we will feel disgrace. But that's not Bhagwan's fault. Another example Puja Gurudev gives in his commentary, he says that teachers of Vedanta explain this idea by a striking example of a sweet, scented, lonely flower on the roadside. Now, the flower is available for recognition and enjoyment for everybody passing that spot. And many pedestrians will walk and pass by, not recognizing the fragrance of the flower, not recognizing that the beauty of the flower is there. But there are some who will walk by the roadside and they'll become conscious of the beauty and fragrance of the flower. And those people can be considered blessed by the flower, not because the flower was partial, but because they recognize the beauty and the fragrance of the flower. In the Mahabharata, we see this example of Sri Krishna with Arjuna and Duryodhana. I'm sure you remember the story, right? Both of them came to ask Sri Krishna for help with the Mahabharata war. Both of them had access. But where did Duryodhana choose to stand? By the head. And where did Arjuna choose to stand? At the feet of Sri Krishna. So naturally, when Sri Krishna opens his eyes, what does he see? He sees Arjuna. And when Arjuna and Duryodhana were both asked, Sri Krishna said, I will help you both. What do you want? I will give you my help. I will give you help, both of you. What do you want? Arjuna said, I only want you. Duryodhana said, I want your entire army. Now, can you blame Sri Krishna? No. Bhagavan is so samaha, so same, that even to Ravana he blesses. Even Ravana is blessed. Even Hiranyakashipu is blessed. When Ravana single-pointedly contemplated on Lord Shiva, he got lots of power. So he walked near the fire. He got lots of power. But the minute he started walking away from the fire, he saw his destruction. Same with Hiranyakashipu. When he meditated on Narayana, he did a lot of austerity. More austerity than you and I, Hiranyakashipu is able to do. He did a lot of austerity. He walked towards Narayana, and because of that, he got lots of boons. But what happened? When he started walking away from Narayana, he started to crumble. He wanted to destroy Prahlad, but nobody could destroy him. So Bhagavan is so even, so impartial, that even the asuras are able to have boons from Bhagavan. That's how impartial our Bhagavan is. Huh? So he says, Sammoham Sarva Bhuteshu. Now the second line, it says, but those who seek me with devotion, I am in them and they are in me. Oh, Bhagavan, you just said that you are impartial. Isn't that again partial? Actually, Bhagavan says, I am in everybody and everybody is in me. But those who are devotees, they know this. And those who are not devotees, they don't know this. And it is because of their purity and devotion, they know. So I am in them, they are in me. This is a fact for everybody. Because we are one. Bhagavan says we are one. But those who are devotees, they know this fact. They know that ultimately we are one. There's no two. Because bhakta cannot be without Bhagavan. And Bhagavan cannot be without bhakta. One great Mahatma was writing that if the bhaktas are meditating on Bhagavan, who is Bhagavan meditating on? Bhagavan is meditating on all of the bhaktas. Because he loves them so much. So it is true for all, but the bhaktas are able to see this unity because of their devotion. Now, the question comes, Bhagavan, what about somebody who's a total papi, like a total sinner, somebody who's really, really wicked? What about them? Can you provide anything for them? Are you there for them? Do you love them? Here now, in verse number 30 and 31, these are very, very beautiful verses. We will see. Api chet suduracharaha. Padmini ji, if you can unmute.
Sorry. Api chet suduracharah
Hajate mamananya bhak.
bhajate mamananyabhak
Sadhureva samantavyaha.
sadhureva samantavyah
Samyak vyavasito hi saha.
samyak vyavasito hi saha
Api chet suduracharaha bhajate mamananya bhak sadhureva samantavyaha samyak vyavasito hi saha. So Bhagwan says, Api chet, even if suduracharaha, a very wicked person, bhajate mam, even if a very wicked person worships me, ananya bhak, with devotion to none else, no one else, sadhu eva samantavyaha, that person should be regarded as a sadhu. Sadhu, somebody who's very righteous. Why? Samyak vyavasitaha, because he has rightly resolved. He is rightly resolved. Even if the most sinful worships me with devotion to none else, he too should indeed be regarded as righteous, for he has rightly resolved. So, somebody who's done something completely wrong, somebody who's been like a really terrible asura or rakshasa, what about them? Suduracharaha, this word is very interesting. Duracharaha means somebody who's wicked. Suduracharaha means somebody who has a PhD in being wicked, who's really good at being wicked. If there is somebody who seeks me like that, Bhagwan says, I regard them as a sadhu. If they seek me ananya bhak, with single-pointed devotion, I regard them as a sadhu, because they have taken that firm resolve. Here, I'm going to read to you a little bit of the episode of Vali and Sri Rama. This is very beautiful because when Vali was killed, first he kind of blames Sri Rama. That how did you do this? And why did you do it? He kind of vents out. Then after that, he seeks forgiveness. He becomes a sadhu. Even someone like Vali, I'm sure you know the story of Vali and Sugriva. Even someone like Vali becomes a sadhu. So let me just read that portion to you, and then we will see. So this is what Vali tells Sri Rama. Even though, my lord, you descended on earth for upholding righteousness, you killed me, as a hunter would kill a wild beast. Your enemy and Sugriva, your dear friend. For what fault did you take my life? So Vali was first angry because Sri Rama shot him from the back. Sri Rama says, listen, O wretch, a younger brother's wife, a sister, a daughter-in-law, and one's own daughter, these four are alike. One would incur no sin by killing him who looks upon these with an evil eye. Fool, in your extravagant pride, you paid no heed to your wife's warning. You knew that your brother had taken refuge under the might of my arm, yet in your arrogance you sought to kill him. And so, Sri Rama explained that, listen, Vali, what you did was completely wrong. You shouldn't have done all of that. Sugriva has taken shelter in me. Then Vali says, listen, Rama, my shrewdness cannot avail against my master. But my lord, am I a sinner? Yet though I have found shelter in you at the hour of my death. So Vali said, I have done such sinful things. I know. I have threatened my brother. I have taken his wife. I know I have done such sinful things. I have banished my brother out of the kingdom. Am I a sinner? He says, even if now I have found refuge at your feet. Sri Rama says, when Sri Rama heard this most tender speech of Vali, he stroked his head with his hand. I make your body immortal. You may keep your life. So Sri Rama forgave him right away. But the most beautiful thing is, this is what Vali said. Vali said, listen, O ocean of mercy, sages continue their efforts for God realization during successive births, but at the last moment they fail to utter the name Rama. But he, on the strength of whose name Lord Shankara bestows immortality on all alike, has appeared to me in a visible form before my very eyes. Shall I ever get a golden opportunity again? I would like to die. So Sri Rama forgave Vali. Sri Rama said, Vali, if you have taken refuge at my feet, I grant you life. Vali said, no. So many people fail to utter your name at their death. So many people don't have your vision at the time of death. I'm so lucky that I have that. Grant me death. So, see how forgiving Bhagwan is. Sadhu. It's considered a sadhu. I'm sure you all know the story of Ratnakar, who became Valmiki, right? We have it in our Upanishad Ganga. Again, he was a papi. He used to loot from people, he used to hurt people, steal from them for his own family's sake. But when he met Narad Rishi, he completely changed. Naradji gave him that mantra of Rama. And he started saying Mara, Mara, Mara. But even when he said Mara, he said it with so much bhava that only Rama was felt. And so he became Valmiki. All of these, whoever surrenders to Bhagwan, even if they've done the worst possible crime, the most destructive act, whoever it is, Bhagwan says you are sadhu. Now, what does this tell us? This tells us that if Bhagwan is able to forgive, who are we not to forgive? If Bhagwan Sri Krishna can forgive, who are we not to forgive? So in our lives, one great example of how to handle negativities that come our way is the life of Lord Shiva in the churning of the milk of ocean of milk, right? What came out was the poison, hala hala, right? That poison came out and nobody else wanted to take that poison. But Lord Shiva took it. And he did not spit it out and he did not digest it. He kept it as an ornament in his throat. And that's why it's called Nilakanta. He's called Nilakanta. When we go through negativity in life, if we spit it out, what happens? Then we create so much more negativity because everybody around us gets poisoned by it. Everybody gets stained by it. We're just passing on the negativity. And if we swallow it and don't tell anybody about it, it might become toxic. It will become toxic. It will seep up through our health. It will create toxicity. But if we reflect upon it, if we think about it, and keep it here as an ornament of strength, yes, we have been through these trials. It's been incredibly difficult, incredibly hard, but I'm not going to spit it out at other people, and I'm not going to swallow it and suppress it. I'm going to reflect upon it. I'm going to think about it, and I'm going to grow through it. I'm going to grow through it so much that it becomes an ornament of my strength and not a suffering of my weakness. It's an ornament of my strength and not a suffering of my weakness. To forgive others, we have to give 4 things. Bhagwan easily forgives. For us, it may be a little bit challenging. But to forgive others, we have to give 4. What is that? The first thing we have to give a thought to is that nobody is perfect. Nobody is perfect. Our parents did not go through masters or MBA in parenting, how to raise a child, and how to raise us, specific children, right? Children did not go through an MBA on how to deal with social media pressure and peer pressure in school. They did not go through that. So this is so many things where we don't learn. We're just learning on the go. So mistakes will happen. We're not perfect. Nobody can teach us how to do exactly what we need to do because circumstances keep changing. We may be a doctor, we may have gotten a degree, and we may have studied, we may have experience, but technology keeps changing. Again, we have to relearn everything. So nobody is perfect. We all make mistakes, so forgive that. We're also not perfect. The second thing we have to give a thought to is rough times are tough. Sometimes people will say things, they'll do things because they're going through really hard times. It's tough. When somebody's going through a really hard time, when there's some kind of issue in the family or at work or even in their health, and because of their pain, suffering, they may lash out. Understand that they're going through pain. It's not coming just like that. It's not coming, because they're happy. Happy people don't lash out. It's coming because they're in pain. So if we sense that somebody's having a rough time, it's okay. Just be patient. Because tough times, they are rough. They are rough. The third one that we have to give a thought to is holding grudges against people is a burden. When you travel and you have to take all of these suitcases, all of this baggage, and you have to carry so many things, you feel so slow, so heavy, and you just want to let go of everything and drop everything so you can go faster. Because the more you carry, the slower you are. The more you carry, the more it hurts, the more aches and pains all over the body. But the minute we let go of everything, we're free and quick. So all of these burdens, all of these grudges that we carry against people, they just weigh us down. That's all they're doing. The person's not suffering. The person might not even know, did you forgive them or not forgive them? Do you have anger towards them or not? The person might not even know all of this. The person might be completely free and laughing. But we are feeling so heavy. So for our own sake, let go. Let go and put the mind in something greater. This kind of grudge or hateful thought or negative thought towards somebody, it takes away our energy from doing great and noble things in life. The fourth thing we have to give a thought to is that nobody actually hurts us. What do you mean? I mean that what is happening to us is just our prarabdha karma. It is meant to happen to us. It is just coming through that particular person. So that person is just a delivery messenger, like an Amazon truck driver delivering your package. That person is just delivery. That karma is meant to come to us, but it's coming through that person. That's why if you look in the life of Sri Rama, he did not hold any grudge against Kaikai. No grudge. When he was in Chitrakoot and Kaikai came, she felt so ashamed that how is she going to meet the son that she banished for 14 years? How is she going to meet him? She was so ashamed, but he treated her the same, exactly like his mother. Exactly like Kausalya, he treated Kaikai. He touched her feet, he made sure she was comfortable, he respected her. He had no grudge because he knew whatever happened had to happen so he could go to the forest to defeat Ravana. So nobody's actually hurting us. Just our karma is coming back to us. It's coming back to us through someone or through something. It's coming back. If we keep this in mind, then it becomes easy to forgive people. So give a thought to 4 things. Nobody is perfect. Rough times are tough, or tough times are rough. It is a burden to carry this weight of grudges, and nobody actually hurts us. Now, a question comes, what about forgiving ourselves? Maybe we have done something so incredibly wrong. And the thing is, nobody knows. So nobody can point it out. Only Bhagwan knows. It's not something maybe we exposed. It's not something we told anybody about. But we did something and it was wrong. What should we do to forgive ourselves? So in our culture, we have what is called prayashchitta. Prayashchitta means atonement. That when we do something wrong, we make up for it right away. Don't let the wrong go on and on and on and on. Make that wrong right away. For example, if we miss our sadhana, in the morning, many of those here in either our Devi group or our Chinmaya Yuva Kendra group, where if we miss sadhana, we have to write a Likita Japa 108 times of our Ishta Devata, right? So if we miss our sadhana, how are we atoning for it? If we miss our, let's say, our study, let's say we commit to study. If we miss that, how are we atoning for it? Are we maybe skipping a meal? We shouldn't let mistakes just slide or wrongdoings just slide. Okay, I made this mistake. Okay, fine, let it be. No. If we make a mistake, acknowledge it and make up for it right away so that it doesn't repeat itself again and again and again and again. And if we don't make up for it right away, what happens is we feel an incredible amount of guilt. A grudge is heavy, but guilt is also very heavy. Guilt is very heavy. When we speak untruth, when we don't live up to how we're supposed to live, when we see or think negatively about somebody, how do we make up for that? So we make up for that through prayashchitta, through atonement, as I said, doing japa, chanting the name of Bhagwan. But make up for it right away, otherwise that guilt sits there. And actually, it's good to feel guilty in the beginning. Because if we don't feel guilty and we did something wrong, that means that we're quite immoral. If we don't feel guilty and we did something wrong, it means immorality is becoming our nature. But if when we do something wrong, we feel guilty, it's a good thing. But make up for it right away. when we become sincere and we make up for it right away, then the guilt goes away. Because we have taken the resolve to become a sadhu. We have taken a resolve to make things right. So Bhagwan Sri Krishna says here, even if somebody has done completely something really, really wrong, if they sincerely are seeking that truth single-pointedly, then they are a sadhu, because they have taken that right resolve. They said, I want to change. I want to make things right. And that's a very hard step to take. It's not so easy, because some people just wallow in their sorrow, wallow in their guilt, and they drown in there. But the minute someone steps up and says, no, enough, I want to make this right, Bhagavan says, you are a sadhu. You are a sadhu. Bhagavan says, I love you so much that I want to declare something. This is what he says now in verse number 31. We're just going to see a little bit of 31 because 31 is too beautiful. Kshipram bhavati dharmatma
क्षिप्रं भवति धर्मात्मा
shashvachantim nigacchati
शश्वच्छान्तिं निगच्छति
kaunteya pratijanihi
कौन्तेय प्रतिजानीहि
na me bhaktah pranashyati
न मे भक्तः प्रणश्यति
क्षिप्रं भवति धर्मात्मा शश्वच्छान्तं निगच्छति कौन्तेय प्रतिजानीहि न मे भक्तः प्रणश्यति. Bhagavan says that sadhu soon, kshipram, soon bhavati dharmatma, soon that sadhu becomes righteous. Shashvat shantim nigacchati, and attains eternal peace. Soon, it doesn't take a long time. Kshipram, soon that sadhu becomes righteous and attains eternal peace. Kaunteya, he says, oh Arjuna, Kaunteya, pratijanihi, means you declare to everybody, Name bhaktaha pranashyati, my devotee is never destroyed. My devotee never will perish. Anyone who comes to surrender to me will be saved. Says, soon he becomes righteous and attains eternal peace. O Kaunteya, know for certain that my devotee is never destroyed. This we will take up next week. For now, I'll just summarize what we have done so far, and then we will close. Today, Bhagavan says, when we offer everything to Bhagavan, we become sannyasa yoga yuktatma. We start to renounce our selfishness, our individuality. And because everything is for totality, everything is for the greater good, it's no more about I, me, mine, then there's an automatic renunciation of insistence of results. That results should come this way or that way. In fact, there's a great peace that comes with the action. It becomes a divine action. And that being who is able to renounce this is free from the bondage of karma and attains me. Bhagavan says that the purity of mind enables that person to come to me, to gain knowledge and come to me. Bhagavan, what is your nature? Do you have partiality? Is it that you like some people more than others? He says, no. Samoham sarva bhuteshu. I am exactly the same to all. But those who come and walk towards me will feel me more, will feel my grace more. And those who walk away will feel it less. It's like Puja Gurudev, right? So many people would come to see him speak, but very few would come and spend time with him. Of course, gradually, many people then came and spent time with him. But those that did that, they felt his grace. But it's not that he wasn't available for all. There were some who just chose to come closer to him. So like that, Bhagwan says, I am there. You approach me in whatever way you want, and that's what you will get. What if somebody is really a papi, really a sinner, someone who's done such horrible things in life? Bhagavan says it doesn't matter. The past is a place of reference and it's not a residence. It's not a residence. It's only a place of reference. Yes, that happened. Drop it. Just Bhagavan says, come to me single-pointedly, let everything go, and once you take the right resolve, you become a sadhu. So if Bhagavan is able to forgive, then what to talk of us? We should also practice that forgiveness for others and also for ourselves. Okay? So today we will stop here. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamodachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.